Hey everybody, Alex and Selm here with Selm Tennis, and yes, I did say I was going to share with you a practice match that I had against Maria Sharapova more than 20 years ago, but it's very relevant, and I've shared this story with a lot of students throughout the years. And recently, I was reading an article about Muratoglu talking about how Serena Williams has won all of these Grand Slams with her mind, and what does that mean exactly? Well, this is something that you can see and that you saw with Maria way back in the day, okay? When I played her, she was about 11 or 12, maybe 13 years old. I'm around, 14, 15, because I'm a few years older than her, okay? Already gives you an idea that she was at a pretty good level, because she's playing, a kid who's older, and it's a girl playing a boy, so she had a pretty good level. But there was this moment where I'm playing against Maria, and the score was 6-2, 4-1, 30-15 for me, serving. That's actually why I put myself over here. So I'm here, I'm going 6-2, 4-1, 30-15, I'm bouncing the ball, getting ready to serve against her. And generally, maybe not everybody does this, but I look over, I look at the returner, see where they're standing, if they're in, if they're back, if they're to a side or to another side, and I'm imagining as well where I want to serve the ball and everything. And I remember at 6-2, 4-1, 35, I stopped and I asked to double check what the score was. Reason is because I doubted myself. Usually at 6-2, 4-1, 30-15, you look over on the other side of the net and you're going to see a player who's looks a little bit dejected, looks a little bit down because, 6-2, 41, 30-15, the other player's serving. It's pretty much a wrap, right? It's never over till it's over, right? But 6-2, 4-1, 30-15 serving, it's looking like it's going to end pretty soon, right? And usually that's kind of the body language you're going to see on the other side of the court, okay? When I looked over at 6-2, 4-1, 30-15, I saw this girl on the other side of the net with the body language and the eyes of somebody who was not just out to give a good effort or push themselves or something. No, it was for this. It felt like she wanted to, she was playing for blood. That's what we used to say about it. It's this was no laughing matter, all right? And I looked over, and the reason why I had to double check the score is because she looked as if she was really involved in the match, and she really believed she could do something, or she could win, or she was in it, And like I said, I had to double check, because I was like, oh, it's 6-2, 4-1, 30-15. Did I mess up in the score? Is it actually 15-30? Is it 3-2 or 2-3 and not 4-1? Did I go wrong somewhere? Because she seriously made me doubt myself, okay? And to give you an idea, I've never had that experience any other time, whether it be real match, practice match, or anything. I've never had that experience in any other situation, okay? This is really, this only happened that one time, okay? But obviously it happened with somebody who went on to become a Grand Slam champion and become #1 in the world. So, what I'm trying to share with you is that one of the things I say is really hard to do in tennis is to make it look like you're winning when you're losing, all right? When you look at really great players, if you look at a Rafael Nadal, and you don't know what the score is, and you're looking at the match, you can't tell whether he's winning or losing, okay? That's usually the case for most, great champions. However, if you look at most amateur levels, if you look at most juniors, to a trained eye, I can watch 1 point, or I don't even need to see 1 point. I can just watch the two players in between a point, and I know which one's winning and which one's losing usually, okay? Because that's what you can see through body language and those kinds of things, and the look in the player's eyes, right? So what separates the really great players from, just the rest of us, really? Well, that's part of it, okay? It's that look in their eyes, it's that determination, it's that focus, it's that idea of, like Nadal says too, to just play every single point like it's match point, okay? There aren't any points that are more important than others, so to speak, at least in terms of effort that you want to give out. Sometimes it isn't to say there aren't, crucial points or moments in the match or those things, but in the end that doesn't matter. It's not like you should play those more and the others less. Ultimately what you want to do is you want to play every single point with this super high level of intensity. It doesn't matter whether you're up 6-2, 4-1, 30-15, or you're down 6-2, 4-1, 30-15, or whatever the score is. Maybe it's 4-all, 30-all in the third set, okay? The idea is that you want to have that same intensity, that same fire, all right? And I can tell you, like I said, never with anybody else have I had that experience, okay? At 6-2, 4-1, 30-15, I've never had the experience of beating somebody so bad and yet feeling, but then them making me, just through their body language, just through their eyes, making me feel like as if maybe I was in danger or I was threatened. That's never happened any other time, okay? So it is something that's very unique, and like I said, again, I played with thousands of tennis players, growing up and teaching and everything. So I've seen a lot of tennis players, and what Maria had right there is very rare. But the truth is, as much as it's rare, it is something that we actually are all capable of. We don't need somebody else to make us do that, right? We can all do that if we choose to do that. We just need to make the choice, the conscientious choice to say, I'm going to play every single point like my life depends on it, basically, okay? And you'll see that that's huge, because obviously, if your opponent fears you to a certain extent, you're gonna find that they're a little bit easier to beat than if they're not scared of you in any kind of way, right? So for Maria to scare me like that, intimidate me, a boy who's older than her and who's winning against her regularly, to make the opponent doubt like that is a huge tool, a huge asset, okay? And we used to just joke around with my dad. We used to always say, if she just doesn't make it, none of us are going to, fortunately, yeah, glad to see that she had some success in her career and all that. But the important thing to notice too is that you don't just turn this on once you're on center court in Wimbledon or something. This is something you see that she was doing from a young age. And when you get used to doing this day in, day out, having that kind of high intensity, after a year, 5 years, 10 years of doing that all the time, every single time you're on the tennis court, that pays big dividends in the end, all right? And in the end, we've all got good forehands, good backhands, good serves, good volleys, whatever. Everybody knows how to do those things, right? But really what makes a difference is all of that time that you've spent having that intensity. It makes you come back and win those matches that maybe you didn't think you could win. It makes you really close out the matches and not let any of those ones slip away from you. It helps you win a lot of those tight matches that could have gone either way. And in the end, that's the difference between being number 1 and being number 10 or number 100, okay? It could come down to just a few wins here and there throughout the course of the year. So thought I'd share that with you because, again, it's a pretty unique experience. And yeah, if you know that, why don't you go ahead and try and do that? Why don't you go and see if you can not just make it look like you're winning, but make your opponent feel like you're winning, even when they're crushing you. If you can do that, again, it doesn't matter if you lose the match or anything like that in a practice match. It doesn't matter if you lose the match. If you get used to really trying to do that, that can pay huge dividends for you in the end. Okay? So anyway, hope that story helped some of you, and we'll see you on the next video.